So the FA Cup dream is over for another year. Wolves have lost out 1-0 to Norwich City at Molineux. A really, really frustrating afternoon of football, especially with how well Wolves got on in January. Hopefully, obviously that's the manager of the month curse done, and we've got it out of the way in the FA Cup, and hopefully Wolves can bounce back in the Premier League from obviously this week. But Wolves started a team with a 5-3-2 formation. We saw John Ruddy in goal, a pretty much full strength back five at the moment. With Nori and Semedo as wing backs, Totti Gomez, Connor Cody and Max Kilman as the back three. We saw Dendoncker, Martinho and Neves in the middle, and Pedence and Fabio Silva up top. So pretty much a very similar team to how we played against Brentford. And to be honest, the way we played overall was very much like that Brentford game. Struggled to get the ball up to the front two, and whenever it did get to the front two, it didn't really stick. There weren't enough options. So it was just the full 90 minutes was frustrating, and it'll probably take me a couple of hours before I try and figure things out and why things have happened. And obviously when we do the podcast, obviously getting other people's point of view, because I just couldn't put my finger on why Wolves are struggling in today's game. First off, we had pretty much quite a lot of the control, really. One lapse of concentration allowed, I think it was Adam Ida, the Norwich striker, to go through, and John Ruddy had to make a good save. But other than that, throughout the whole of the first half, we kept Norwich very, very quiet. But saying that, we did not create enough opportunities of our own. Silva struggled to get into the game. I think there was a half chance where Pedence had his back to goal, 3 or 4 defenders around him, and you just sort of knew in the back of your mind that he was going to go down looking for something. I think in the end his back foot just went, and obviously the referee didn't give anything. And then right at the end of the first half, probably when the minute was up, Wolves give away a very, very cheap free kick. Some would argue it shouldn't have even been a free kick. It was Kilman on Rashika, I believe, and the ball comes in, and you just know should be the half-time whistle. Ball comes in, ball loops over John Ruddy's head and goes into the back of the net. So frustrating to go into half-time, 1-0 down, but you knew really from the first whistle Norwich were there to frustrate the hell out of Wolves. Not necessarily come to Molineux to play football, but just try and, make the game as difficult for Wolves as possible. And I think if the game went to extra time, went to penalties, they would have been happy for it to be for the game to do so. I think David Coote, the referee, we never like to blame referees for their performances, but had to try and get his authority on the game way earlier. The goalkeeper was doing it from minute one. They were doing it on the throw-ins. He had to make that clearer from minute one. And just made it 30-odd thousand Wolves fans, or fans in general there, made it a very disappointing game of football overall. Things didn't get any better in the second half, though. It was just the same old, like I said, game against Brentford. We struggled to keep the ball. Sloppy passes today, really, really poor. The game, I keep referring to it, the last game in the league, the first time against Brentford, we got the ball down and played a bit of football. The 2 times that we did it, we scored both goals. Today, we didn't do that at all. Really struggled to get the ball moving, get it on the deck. I think the issue with Fabio Silva and Pedence are, against Sheffield United, they had a Adama Traore up there with them and was allowing to drag defenders away and gave Fabio Silva so much space to run into and create opportunities. He didn't have that again today. Too tight, not enough options around him. Dendoncker, I thought, was making clever runs, but the person on the end of them was Dendoncker, so things aren't really happening. I think if Wolves look to bring a proper number 10 or proper roaming playmaker into the team in January, we could have had some different results there as well. But in the end, we saw Bruno, I think possibly for the first time in his tenure as manager, play a 4-4-2. Is this the future of Bruno Lage? Probably not this season, but next season onwards, possibly. But still, it didn't work. It was the same thing. There wasn't enough in the midfield. There wasn't enough link between the defence to the midfield and the midfield to the attack. It just didn't stick today. And I can't really remember. Pedence had the best chance of the game for Wolves, hitting the post. And from where I was sat over in the North Bank today, I thought it was in the back of the net. But frustrating. Very poor performance overall from Wolves. We saw Chiquinho get a little cameo, 2 wicked balls into the area, but obviously nothing came to fruition. And in the end, Norwich hold on for a victory in what was a pretty disappointing and poor game of football for the neutral. Wolves are out of the FA Cup. All eyes, all focus on the Premier League now. Look, if we get into Europe or can push for top 8, top 7, this game and today will be all forgotten. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys very, very soon.